Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to this roundtable at the Lincoln International Business School. I'm delighted to present this roundtable, to host it this morning. My name is Craig Marsh. I'm the Pro Vice Chancellor and the head of the Lincoln International Business School. We are sort of partly virtual and partly live. As you can see, we have my colleagues actually here on campus this morning, which is wonderful to see. I'm sitting in one of our main lecture theatres, the Harvard Lecture Theatre, where we do a lot of the student interactive presentations. It's a lovely arena for presenting students' results and so forth. And we have with us this morning three of my senior academics who can talk a little bit about the programs in their departments. We have my head of the global experience team, Judy Turner, who's going to talk a little bit about the sort of students' experience that she shares and develops with our students. But most importantly, we have two of my students here this morning who'll talk directly a bit about what it's like to study here at the University of Lincoln. So we have scheduled for about 45 minutes or so. We do love these to be interactive sessions. So if you're listening in, please do pop any questions that you might have into the chat. We'll do our best to answer them while we're going through this morning. Anything that we say or anything that we don't say that you'd like to find out a bit about us this morning. Hopefully, perhaps some of you are already joining us from Lincoln. We've got some of our potential students here already this morning, wandering around. It's a lovely day for it. And you can see, you will be able to see at a couple of points over the course of this morning, our campus cam, which is the wonderful view of our campus from the business school building out towards the library and the Students' Union. So that's really the plan for the next 45 minutes or so. So without further ado, I shall like to introduce my colleagues. So perhaps I'll start with you, Siobhan, if I may. If I can introduce Siobhan Goggin, who's my head of the Accounting Finance Department. Siobhan.
Okay, thanks, Craig. Morning, everybody. I am, as Craig said, I'm Siobhan Goggin. I'm the head of Department of Accountancy, Finance and Economics, which is a very broad spread for a department. So we have on one hand all the accountancy programs through to finance, banking. We even teach some law through to economics and econometrics. So a broad spectrum.
That's great, Siobhan. So tell us where you are this morning as well.
Well, of course, here I am in our wonderful Bloomberg Suite. As you can see behind me, there are our screens with up-to-date information coming from, that's better, up-to-date information coming from across the world with respect to the price of shares, the price of stocks in a real-world environment. It's one of our superb employability tools because students who have aspirations to work in the finance industry must take advantage of being part of the programs which lend themselves to the use of this Bloomberg Suite. It is really exciting. It is the first year that we've actually been able to implement it because although we had it last year, we were unable to use it from a face-to-face teaching perspective because of, we all know the reasons. So we're all very excited, looking forward to the use of the Bloomberg Suite. And in particular, our students will be looking forward to this as well. Speaking of students, I have one of my students here today with me, and that is James. And James is a third-year student. And I don't think I'll tell you anything more about James, but I'll hand over to James to ask him to introduce himself.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Siobhan, for introducing me. So as Siobhan said, I'm James Stenson. I am a third-year banking and finance student. I'm hoping to go on to my master's at Lincoln to do international investment banking. And I'm also the Chief Executive Officer for the Lincoln Student Managed Investment Fund. And I've led this fund for 3 years. And I think everyone in our fund is very, very excited to be able to use the Bloomberg terminals. This is something for us that's particularly interesting for us as stocks and shares is our bread and butter. So I think every single one of our members, which is about 130 people, will be very excited to use those terminals finally. And as Siobhan said, getting this experience and getting this exposure to industry-used tools, this is something that goes on your CV and is completely unique. And it's a complete unique selling point for Lincoln. And I think it's superb. And we all look forward to using it.
Thank you so much, Siobhan. Thank you, James. Well, James will come back and just unpick that a little bit more actually in a few minutes, and so tell us a bit more about the role that you've had, particularly the investment fund, which is a really exciting, innovative project that is run by our students indeed. So thank you both. So I'd like to bring in Christina, who's representing the Department of Management this morning. Christina.
Hello, good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to all of you. Yes, my name is Cristina Cherino. I'm the program leader for International Business Management, and I'm the academic lead for Modern Foreign Languages. And today I'm here representing the Department of Management. This department comprises 5 key programs, undergraduate programs, and these are business studies, business and management, international business management, business and enterprise development, and business psychology. Although the 5 programs are similar in a sense, they are very distinctive as well. They all have their own different characteristics, their own different modules, opportunities, options, etc., depending on what you're interested in. Yeah, and one of the things I would like to highlight is that I've been working for the University of Lincoln as an academic for over 20 years, and I would like to highlight the diversity, how we celebrate diversity amongst our student population and staff as well. At the moment, as you can see, I'm in a lecture theatre. Yeah, this is the big lecture theatre here in the David Chiddick building. When you come to study with us, you will have lectures such as the ones that take place in this room. And here we have 250, 300 students. And in this kind of environment, there is little interaction. Yeah, so it's mainly the lecturer talking to you. And then you will be split into smaller groups, and then you will have seminars, yeah, which are maximum normally about 20 people. Yes, I mean, I would like to also introduce you now to one of our students who has been with us for 3 years, and this is Callum.
Thank you, Christina. Good morning, everyone. My name's Callum. I'm a third-year business and management student, and I will also be staying on Lincoln to do a master's in management with human resource. One of the most important things I'd like to highlight about my experience at the time at Lincoln is about societies. At the University of Lincoln, we have over 150 spots in societies. One of the most important things that we do have is the Business Society, which works very close with the business school. And through the business school, it's an opportunity to meet people who do similar courses or with an interest in business, to take part in loads of activities ranging from team building to other exercise programs that we work closely with numerous of departments across Lincoln and other establishments within the community. We love to do charity fundraising events for important causes like Macmillan and Minds, and it's a great way to meet loads of new people and to continuously further explore what Lincoln has to offer. Through that society as well, we do also loads of new challenges along the way, where there are rewards and other building programs which will really stand out well on a CV. And it's something I really highly recommend for students to look out for who come to Lincoln, is to have a look at all the sports societies that are all to offer at the uni.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Christina, and thank you, Callum, again for joining us. It's great to have you both here with us this morning. And we'll come back a little bit more, Callum, and ask you to say a bit more about some of the sterling work that you've been doing with our societies while you've been here with us at Lincoln. So thank you, Callum. So now let's bring in my third head of department, Farhan.
Good morning. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the University and the Business School this morning. You're joining me in the atrium in our David Chiddick building, which is our communal social space in the David Chiddick building, which is closely linked to my left to our international lounge that we have as well, where many of our students come together to enjoy a cup of coffee and so forth. But as Craig has alluded to, my name is Farhan Ahmed. and I am the head of department for marketing, languages and tourism. And as you can imagine by that title, we have a diverse range of programs within our department, ranging from international tourism, which has been a long-standing program within the business school. It's well into its 25th year now and has a sterling reputation across the country and internationally for that matter as well. And I'll be coming back to talk about that in a few moments. In terms of our marketing programs, we have a whole range of marketing disciplines as well, for everything from business and marketing through to advertising and marketing. And as you can imagine, within those particular degree programs, we have a diverse range of interest areas that we cover, and they are constantly updated to reflect changing marketing trends. So a real diverse makeup of programs there. And then finally, we also have events management and sports business management as well within our portfolio of programs, all which are exceptionally popular with students and are growing year on year. And we expect those programs to continue to develop their reputation going forward. Unfortunately, I'm not joined by a student today, but what I would like to do at this point is to signpost our viewers, if possible, to our bite-sized videos, where you'll be able to hear from many of our current students who are in either the first, second or third year of their respective programs. And as part of their programs, they've created small videos which tell you about their respective experiences with us. And I think the real proof in the pudding of the student experience is hearing directly from our graduates and our students. So I would recommend all of our viewers taking a look at those particular videos should they have time. But it's an absolute pleasure to join you here today.
Thank you so much, Farhan, and we'll just post that into the chat if anybody's interested in having a look at some of those videos from our current students. And Farhan, just say where you are this morning.
Yeah, I'm in the Atrium building, in our David Chiddick building. It's a communal space, like I mentioned a few moments ago. So normally we would have all of our students socializing, meeting each other, interacting with academics in a more of a casual surrounding. And as you can tell, there's lots of soft furnishings to relax whilst you're waiting for your next session to begin.
That's great, Farhan. And if anybody is interested in booking a tour of the university, we're still not running for government restrictions our full physical open days yet, but you can come and book a tour of the campus, and my colleagues will post in the chat where you can actually go and book yourself a tour, and you can come and talk to some of my colleagues and the colleagues here, some of our students, and just get a feel for the wonderful campus. And I wonder if we could just post. We have a campus cam available today. I wonder if we could just post because it is a beautiful day today. The view, there we go. This is the view from where we're talking from this morning, from the David Chiddick building, the business school. And there you can see a wonderful perspective over the campus. So if you haven't been to see us so far, hopefully that'll just give you a little bit of a flavour of what it's like in this beautiful part of the world. So thank you, Farhan, and we'll come back a little bit more. We've got some really good news to talk about in terms of the awards that we've been winning in student experience in your department. So I'll bring you back in, and you can say a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So, okay, well, what I'd like to do now is perhaps bring our students back in, because they've just given us a little bit of a flavour of some of the things that they've been working on, some of their experience while they've been studying with us. And James, perhaps I could start with you, if I may, James. And now you mentioned briefly in your introduction about your role with the Lincoln Student Management Investment Fund. Now, this is a really innovative project that's been developed over the last 3 to 4 years or so, and you've been really at the heart of this development, haven't you? So maybe just talk a bit about more about what that is and how it works with our students, James.
Yeah. So as you said, as I earlier said, with our Lincoln Student Managed Investment Fund, and I think the real thing to sell is we are a real fund. We're trading real money. We're looking at the real markets, analyzing it properly, and then making real investments, and then managing those investments and those assets and making decisions based on market conditions. Now, the great thing about Elsmith is anybody can join. We are situated obviously within the business school. However, I would honestly welcome any member from the entire university campus to join us. If you have an interest in finance or investments, even a little bit, we can find a place for you. And I think the great thing about Elsmith is it's really a collaborative practice. So not only are you learning skills about investment, but you're also learning team working skills, managing deadlines. To be quite blunt with you, I think anyone who joins Elsmith has really taken on an extracurricular activity that will enhance their CV. But there comes responsibility with that, and that comes with doing additional work. So for some people, it's too much, but we always break everything down into small, manageable chunks. We have an in-house training program, so you can join us with absolutely zero experience, and we'll go through everything nice and slowly, and it's all catered to you at your own level. So currently, if you join us, you'll go through our training program. There's about 6 steps, and you complete them in your own time. And once you've completed those steps, you join us as an analyst. An analyst in our fund will be given certain tasks, like to prepare a report on a certain company that we're interested in. And we'll have a look at each company and see how they're doing in their market. And we'll come together as a fund and discuss it, get the general consensus on the stock, and then myself and other leadership members will make the final decision on all our investments. But the great thing about Elsmith is it is the collaborative process. You have everybody that's interested in similar areas, and you all come together, and it's a great place to meet people. And like I say, every course is welcome. We've got people from psychology and previously biology. Majority of our students are from banking and finance and accountancy and finance, economics. But again, everybody is welcome to this, and it's such a unique opportunity to be able to gain real world experience that is directly transferable to the business world. And one of our greatest success stories is all our alumni when they leave and they've been given jobs. We've got Chris Denyer, who left us to join an investment bank in Vietnam. We've got quite a few other success stories where people have joined industry straight away. And this is a very, very competitive industry. So anything that can differentiate yourself, make you stand out, is certainly something you should take on. Every year, we also give out certificates proving what role you served as, what you did in the fund, and how you've contributed. And the other great thing about Elsmith is, whilst you're with us, you're building your own personal portfolio of investments. So the first investment report you write will obviously probably be your weakest report. But through time, and say if you're here for 3 years, you might end up writing 10 reports. Now, if you go to an employer and physically can demonstrate, these are the reports I've written, this is the industry I'm very, very interested in, it's incredible evidence. And it goes beyond academia, because it's a complementary process to academia. I think lastly, the other great benefit is learning management skills. So for example, I have led Elsmith now for 3 years, and I'm happy to admit and openly admit to you that the first year I led Elsmith, it wasn't my best. The second year was better, and the third year is the best year we've ever had, in my personal opinion. But it's a great experience for everybody, because there are management positions for all the students. We're entirely student driven, and thus it's a good way to get not just investment experience, but management experience. And next year, I would personally like to expand into several other areas, make some accounting roles, looking at management accounting strategies, and really expanding it as much as we can and making the scope of Elsmith as big and wide as possible. I think the other great thing is we also have partnerships all over the world. Currently, we have a great partnership with the National Economics University in Hanoi, and we also have another Vietnamese university called the National Economics University for, I think it's just Vietnam, I'm sorry. But we have these great partnerships, and basically probably twice a year we get together, have an international conference, we discuss our own markets, we discuss different tips and advice, because these universities are both in their setup stages of making their own Elsmiths. So, it's a lot of experience sharing, and it's a lot of global exposure. We've learned things about Vietnamese market, that you ordinarily would not know, and they're quite interesting, as they're so different to the UK or the traditional US equity markets. So really, I would say if you're interested in finance, investments, any sort of manage your own money, Elsmith is the place for you, because we will teach you real world skills that will last an entire lifetime and certainly enhance your career prospects through putting great talking points to employers and helping you fill your CV out with valuable skills. Thank you.
James, isn't that wonderful? Thank you so much for describing that for us, and many congratulations for the leadership you've provided for the fund over the last 3 years. And it highlights several things. It highlights those really important. It's not just about the learning about the finance and investment, but it's about those transferable skills of leadership, teamwork, management, project management, that many students will benefit from by studying with us. And actually all the students who study in the business school learn those in some way or another. But it's a really good example of how those rounded skills are developed through the fund. And in particular, I was really pleased you mentioned our partnerships in Vietnam that have been really central actually to the development of the fund. And the international experience that our students get, I think, and the cross-cultural experiences is also really fundamental, isn't it, to what we're doing. We love to think about ourselves developing global citizenship. And in that regard, I'm really delighted this morning to be joined by Judy Turner, who leads our Global Experiences team. And Judy, you can perhaps say a bit more about the way that we work with our students and as partners, actually, to develop those crucial global citizenship skills. Judy?
Hi, thanks, Craig. Hi, everyone. Yeah, so I'm Judy Turner, the Global Experiences Manager in the business school. And one of the things that we really try and do is to bring the students into our intercultural community, both within the business school and university-wide. What we're really trying to do is get our students to understand how important it is to be globally aware as a graduate, to understand the types of job roles that are out there for them, and to give them some experience while they're at university of being part of a global and international community, which within the business school is something that they will walk straight into. A lot of international students, we have a lot of international staff, and it's a way of gaining those experiences while you're at university. Listening to James talk about his experiences, for example, we have a lot of ways of helping our students get those type of experiences through things like global events that we hold on campus, employment opportunities. We have employability fairs that we hold specifically within the business school, and those have an international perspective to them as well. We have the opportunity, and again, hopefully this will be more so in the future, of international travel, which is funded through specific criteria, which is specific to the business school, again, which is an amazing opportunity. And we also connect with other teams university-wide to help provide our students with the best focus on their employability, their global understanding, and we really try to bring our students into that one community feel across the whole university. Some of the things that we like to extend to our students are things like connecting them with the societies, for example, and we ask the societies and other students if they have events that they would like to put forward. We help those students to put those events on. We help them to be part of their own experience. We help them to engage other students. And that's one of the things that we feel is really important. The students are our sort of focus, and that's why we bring the students into the experiences that we put on as well. One of the other things that we do is business competitions, and we go in for international business competitions, and we get together the teams, and then the teams literally do it's a student as producer. They literally look after themselves, but they have an academic mentor, and we manage that process for them. And we've been very lucky in the past couple of years. We've actually got through once to the semi-finals of the University Business Challenge Global Masters finals and the actual final this year. So it's an amazing experience for our students, and this is across the board open to all of our students in the business school, and not just specific to a certain area. We really want to be able to bring those experiences and opportunities to our students as much as possible. We luckily have had, like James, for example, has come to one of our coffee and catch-ups, which we open up to international students across campus and our business school students, just so that he can come in and talk about how he has been part of the investment fund, how that's been for him, and as he said, how that's helped to enhance his employability skills. We've also had the Business Society come in and run some things for us. And that's what we try and do. It isn't just about that linear experience at university. This is about you interacting with everything that goes on across the university, everything that goes on within the community, and as many things as we can bring in internationally for you to focus on.
Judy, thank you so much for that. It's wonderful to hear a description of what is really at the heart of the student experience here at the business school, which is, you mentioned it, the one community. And I was asked this morning in the general thread in the introduction to the university, what is it about that's distinctive about it? And I think that's it. You know, it's the joining of our community, the family experience that you get when you're here, and the way that you've described how a lot of our international activities are indeed student-led. You know, they bring that experience and expertise into the community because we have so many international students as well.
Yeah.
And just being able to think about all of our students as global citizens. I mean, that's the key concept, isn't it, that we're developing for them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Judy, thank you so much for that, and that's I think a really important or critical element of it. And you mentioned also the societies. Now, I'd love to bring Callum in at that point. Callum, and you've been very, very active, amongst many other things, as in your 3 years at Lincoln, haven't you, in student societies? Well, perhaps just tell us a little bit about what experiences you've been having with us while you've been here, Callum.
Most certainly. Through the 3 years, I've sort of been in all areas, aspects of Students' Union and university. And I think that's one of the great things to know about the university. There are so much on offer, as James mentioned, with the Lincoln Students Investment Management Funds. There's the global certificates, as Judy talked about. We have another range of services like the Careers Employability Centre, where they can help you with your CV and go through like a simulator, how to get ready for when applying for graduate jobs, and take part in the Lincoln Award. For me, I've been really involved in societies for the last 3 years, and with 150 sports societies available, there is something always for someone. And there's a whole host, from ranging your rugby to some of maybe your relaxed societies like Breads and Spreads, where people come along every week to talk about new bread and spreads combined. We have Dance Society, and then we've got the Business Society, which is most important to me, which I'll be actually president for next year. It's a good way to regardless if you're first year, second year, third year, even postgraduate, to come along and meet like-minded people. Being myself as a committee member previously and also a member, it's a really good way to get to take more of advantage of what there is to offer at the university by working with all the communities we have. It's a really diverse and a really safe place to always come. And I like to call the business side to like your second family, because it's just a one welcoming part of that one part of community where everyone could come along and always have somewhere to go to always do something every single week. One of the things we'll be doing next year is we'll be doing regular coffee meets, and we'll be doing new team building school exercises, which will look really good on your CV, but also be it's a really good development to use throughout your time personally, or also in your modules. And I think that's, for myself studying business and management, there's been so much I've been able to extract learning on that course into my extra curriculum, which has helped me come furthermore from studying as someone who wasn't really as confident, taking in leadership roles, to over time becoming a lot more confident and being able to really push myself for the best possibilities. And that's one of the great things of Lincoln there is, whatever you like to achieve in, or if there's a type of skill you want to try and accelerate in, that support is always there available. One of the other things I also do along the side, working with the university, I'm also a recruitment ambassador. There is, an excellent job perspective at Lincoln. It is a extremely student-friendly city, and we do have really good careers and employability centre who can help students get part-time work quite easily, and further opportunities down the line to take part in loads of other new roles to participate in. Essentially, that is about it from me. Thank you.
Well, Callum, that's already an awful lot. I'm so pleased to hear you talk about how you feel your confidence has developed over the 3 years that you've been with us from some of the roles that you've taken on. I've seen that myself in you, actually. So many congratulations on that, and also in taking on the president of the BizSoc next year. And one of the things that characterises us as a university is that really close relationship that we have with our students' union, and in various different ways, and through all the societies. But I mean, particularly in the way that we work together to make sure that you're getting a great experience while you're here at uni. And Callum, you've chosen to stay with us to do an MSc next year. And so say a little bit about that choice and why you decided to stay and continue with an MSc.
I think, throughout the 3 years, Lincoln has become my second home. And, I'd like to even put it as my first home now, because I've always loved Lincoln from the day I first came here. I've met so many amazing, staff and students. It has, really always felt part of the community. There's always something being offered by, the university to keep you engaged, and especially as what Judy, James, and all the other staff have mentioned. There is always something to be offered by the university and the business school. The opportunities are endless. And it's that sort of engagement that keeps me wanting to stay here. And through even the master's program, the opportunities are still exactly the same. And it's just, made me feel very comfortable, not wanting to look anywhere elsewhere, really. And I've got a lot of friends who feel exactly the same. So there is, a high proportion of us who are staying on from third year to stay at Lincoln. To keep part of that Lincoln experience, and to further develop ourselves by the knowledge and masters, and yeah, that's about it from me.
Thank you so much, Callum, and the very best of luck with your studies next year as well. I have to say it's great that we're going to have another year of you as a student in the college there. So it's really good to hear. Thank you so much, Callum. And Farhan, I'm going to bring you back in, actually, because I know that we're particularly proud this week of a couple of awards that you've had in your department and around student experience, haven't we? And your department is now has and is developing a particularly strong reputation in that regard, Farhan.
Yeah, thank you, Craig. It's been a very good news week from our department's perspective, and if I can take a few moments to share that good news with our viewers and colleagues, is many of you may be aware of the Complete University Guide 2022 results were released earlier this week, which is a really brilliant indicator of what the general perception and opinions of our respective degrees are across the country, and in particular how they are represented in a institutional format. And it's with great pleasure I can confirm that our tourism, events and sports business cluster of degree programs came third in the UK, which is up 3 places from last year when we were 6th. So that is a fantastic news story. And in particular, and in our other subject group, the marketing suite of programs, we are up 2 places to 24th, which is an even impressive indication of our student experience when you take into account that there are in excess of 130 institutions who offer marketing. So you can clearly see that the department, as you've alluded to a few moments ago, is developing a very strong reputation for not only student experience, but graduate prospects, extracurricular activities, such as the ones that James and Callum have highlighted today. So collectively, to bring that all together in such an impressive league table position is really good news for us. And we're very proud of not only our students, but I'm also exceptionally proud of my professional services and academic colleagues who have collectively contributed to this in such a positive manner. In addition to that, we've also had recently even more good news in the sense that our MSc International Tourism Management, which is one of our postgraduate programs, has been voted Course of the Year by our student union. And if I can be perfectly honest, that means the world to me. Why? Because it means our students have actively nominated our program, and it's been recognized by the Students' Union, which represents the opinions and thoughts of the student body. So it's a really good news week for us. And I'm sure if you follow us on Twitter and Facebook, you will see that we've been promoting that to our heart's content recently.
As you should be, Farhan. And again, my congratulations again to you and your colleagues. It really is a fantastic achievement against a lot of very stiff competition in the university sector. Farhan, if you had to characterise, I mean, we've heard from some of our students about their experience and why they believe it's so valuable. So, what is it that you're doing? What's the secret sauce that you're doing in your department that gets it so highly ranked in terms of student experience?
That's the well-kept secret, which I'll be quite willing to sell. But no, on a more serious note, I think it's I think James and Callum actually highlighted in a very articulate way what our business school collectively and what we within the Department of Marketing, Languages and Tourism try to do, and that is to differentiate our students from other graduates. It's to make them more unique. It's to make them more sellable so that when they go to interviews, they have something different to talk about. And in order to do that, it begins in their respective degree programs. And what we try to do is put the student experience at the heart of everything we do. And all of my colleagues, academic and professional services, collectively work to that goal. So just to give you a few examples, we endeavor as much as we possibly can to have live projects, live industry briefs, assessments embedded within our academic programs. Why? Because we want that to be something they get familiar with very early on in their degree program. So when they are able to go to interviews, as James said earlier, they have a portfolio of activities that they can demonstrate and highlight to prospective employers. What we also try to do is we are very conscious that graduates need not only the academic knowledge, but the practitioner knowledge as well. And that's where my colleagues are so brilliant, because we have a mixture of colleagues who are obviously all academics, but some of whom have come from practitioner backgrounds. And in many cases, in my marketing team, for example, we have colleagues that have worked for Mars, for example. We have colleagues that run their own private consultancy businesses. And that knowledge and expertise that they bring to the degree program makes students learn a lot more. And we're very conscious that we want that to be embedded within our programs. And then finally, it's credit to Judy and her international team and the Global Opportunities team, because within our respective programs, as is the case with Christina's department, we have opportunities for study abroad. We have opportunities for study visits abroad and what we call a term as the LIBS 100, where we take students to a multitude of destinations such as India, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, all of these, as well as closer to home in Europe and so forth. And these are important skills that we develop within our students. Why? Because they become global citizens. They're exposed to cultures and environments which may have been previously alien to them. And as a result, when you combine all of that together, we have a rounded graduate who has a fantastic narrative and story to tell prospective employers when they apply for jobs.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Farhan. And actually, that it's that combination, isn't it? It's not one factor. It's a complex set of factors that you're marshalling and bringing together to be able to create that award-winning experience, isn't it? That's I think the message I've got from that wonderful description of what you're up to. Anyway, whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it because it's working. Thanks, Farhan. And Siobhan, I think not to be outdone, you've been winning awards as well, haven't you, in your department? So I know you're really proud of them. So please just come say a bit more about what we won recently in accounting, finance, economics. Siobhan. You have to go off mute, Siobhan.
he didn't actually mention, James, when he was speaking about the LSMIF, that it actually is an award-winning student body, because in the recent part qualified PQ awards, which we would have all gone to London to be part of, but Lincoln Student Managed Fund won Student Body of the Year, which was fantastic. We won that award whilst we were there. So congratulations to James and his team of over 100 students. But we also, one of our students won Student of the Year in that set of awards as well. But not only are our students winning awards, recently from CIMA, which is the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, Nadia Gulko, one of our teaching staff, won their Global Teaching Award for all the lecturers on CIMA-driven modules, which for us as a university is a marvellous achievement, and Nadia deserves all our support and congratulations for that award. The more focusing on actual student awards from an academic perspective, the economics team have done significantly well this year. Economics is a very young degree. We've only had it running for about 5 years, but this year they managed to get to #1 in the NSS, which is the National Student Survey, a really key survey for universities and for students recounting their experience of their previous 3 years. So our economics team is #1, our business and finance team is #4 in the NSS, and our accountancy and finance team are #14, and that's out of well over 100 universities. So I think we're doing quite well, and I'm delighted to say that.
Certainly you are, Siobhan. And I know you're so delighted to be in our Bloomberg Suite, which will become available to our students.
That's another win. Yeah.
I know you can see you smiling. I believe we have a Bloomberg cam, is that right? So we can actually see it from the outside. Perhaps we can have a quick look at the Bloomberg cam there. There it is. This is the view from outside the suite there. You can probably see, well, I don't know if you can see Siobhan in there. But
just to the right.
To the right of the cam there, you actually get a really nice view of the spacious area inside our business school. And Siobhan, again, is it just for our accounting, finance, economics students, the Bloomberg Suite? I mean, how are you envisaging us being able to use this for the benefit?
Well, I'm hoping, Craig, that not only will it be part of the curriculum for accountancy, finance and economics students, but that, for example, the student managed fund students may be able to join us, and there is a Bloomberg certificate which they can take advantage of, or anyone who is interested in achieving that Bloomberg certificate. We are hoping that we will be able to invite students from all over the university, not just even within the business school. Fantastic. So it's a marvellous opportunity for Lincoln.
Certainly is. And again, congratulations on the awards and the fact that we now have this suite available for our students to benefit from. So thank you so much for that. And I meant Christina, we heard from a little bit before, and representing our Department of Management, but it would be remiss of me not to say that Christina also runs our unit of languages. And we've heard a lot about the international experience that our students get. Of course, you yourself originally international, Christina. So perhaps just say a little bit about the wonderful work you do in terms of running our languages unit, Christina.
Of course, thank you so much. Yes, I mean, something I would like to highlight is employability and the opportunities you have here in Lincoln in order to enhance your employability prospects. So one thing you can do is between years 2 and 4, if you decide to do this, is to take the international year, and that is a study and work year abroad, yeah? So, I mean, because the placements are all over the world, literally. What we offer also, which is subsidized, are the languages short courses, yeah? These are modern foreign languages. We offer 6 of them, and you can enroll them regardless of the program you are in, yeah? So, as I said, they're subsidized. So, you only pay a small fee to enroll on the languages short courses, and you would be joining all our students who are taking languages as part of their degree. And you can start as a plain beginner, as an intermediate, which would be post-GCSE, or as an advanced student, which would be post-A level. And this is, as I said, a fantastic opportunity for you to enhance your employability prospects, especially in the UK. We have quite a few case studies of students who have joined the courses for 1 year, 2 or 3 years. And actually, we've got the quotations, the examples, as I said, the case studies, where they got the jobs they got after graduation because of having studied, for example, Chinese, and having, although they're not fluent in Chinese, but they have some knowledge of the language, and because of that, for example, we got a student who got a job in Siemens, a student from business studies. So it's something I would like to highlight, because we've got a team of 9 academics from 6 different nationalities, and is an excellent opportunity for, as I was saying before, enhancing your employability prospects after graduation. So yeah, thank you so much.
No, thank you, Christina. Thank you for running what has been such a core part of our school's activity over the last few years. And you're quite right to mention again, that all important question of what job are you going to get at the end of it. Languages, of course, now is becoming such an important element of that, and you've given a couple of really good examples of how we've enhanced that. So thank you so much, Christina. So I would like to leave the last word today to our 2 students who've joined us, and of course I'm going to ask you a really, really difficult, perhaps almost impossible question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. And that question is, so the one thing, if a student is thinking of joining us to study here, what is the one thing that you would say to them that means that you would say, this is why you should come to Lincoln? The one thing, and I'll perhaps start with James, if I may, James. So the one thing that you would say that makes Lincoln attractive to a future student, James?
I think it's the unique broad range of extracurricular activities combined with the excellent academia. So I think my recommendation and advice to anybody looking to join the university is to get involved. It doesn't matter what you get involved with. If you get involved with my fund, the business society, rugby society, whatever, get involved, because university, really, you get back what you put in. And that applies to both your studies and also really your quality of life and making friends. Through my own Lincoln Student Managed Investment Fund, I've made some of my close friends, and we've been friends for 3 years and probably will be friends for a lot longer. I really would stress you, get involved, find something you enjoy, try things out, and really get involved. And I think Lincoln is an absolutely unique place because it offers a variety of things and some exceptional different societies, different clubs. I mean, my own club, as Siobhan said, we've won Student Body of the Year, and that's a national award. So, whatever you're interested in, find it, do it, and put a lot of effort into it, and you'll get a lot back from it.
That's
so thank you.
That's a great message. Thank you so much, James, and you're a prime example of the success of that particular key message. So, James, and thank you again for joining us today. And Callum, finally, Callum, your one thing that you would say to any future students about Lincoln.
I think most importantly, it's about that one community that we offer at the university. As James has mentioned, there is so much we have available for students to get involved in, but the list is just endless. Being right at the heart of Lincoln, being right in the heart of the UK, where Lincoln is, our extremely student-friendly city and campus within walking distance. The opportunities are endless with everything we have to do, from sports and societies to communities, the networks. As James has mentioned, coming to Lincoln is just one part of the amazing journey that you have here. The next 3 years you spend at Lincoln are life-changing, and it's just the time of your life, essentially. What a great
note to finish on. Thank you so much, Callum. And actually, it remains for me to thank all of my colleagues and students who've joined us this morning. Thank those who've been listening to us. And really, don't forget, do come and see us. You can book your place for a tour. Come and experience it for yourself. Hopefully, we've given you a flavour of what it's like to study and work here at the university. And I do hope that we can look forward to welcoming you in person before too much longer. So thank you to everybody, and please enjoy the rest of today's Open Day.
Why did I choose Lincoln International Business School? I chose it because I fell in love with it at the application day.
I chose Lincoln Business School because after speaking to people about their experiences here, I knew that I'd be happy.
So doing a placement gives you so much more confidence when entering the workplace for the first time, because you've got that experience underneath your belt.
Not only will you learn loads of new things and discover what you want to do in the future, but you'll also be more determined than ever when you come back to the final year to complete your degree.
Anything I've learned from like marketing to business management, I've put into practice here, and I've obviously improved on it. A year of working in the business, you achieve incredible things.
Hello, my name is Hao Quach. I'm a principal lecturer and program leader for banking and finance. I'm the founder of the Student Managed Fund at the University of Lincoln. The fund is organized the same way as any professional investment company in the real world. It is one of only few of this kind in the UK. Students participating in the fund have the opportunities to meet with experts from the field, and they are given additional trainings to their works.
So one of the things I enjoy about being a member of Ailsmith is that I get to learn in a practical sense, which I find much more enjoyable and interesting than just learning straight from a textbook.
Being part and a member of investment fund is getting many benefits, and the most I enjoy the personal feedback from industry experts.
Also, it's a great way to develop presentation skills and soft skills, which are highly important for the world of work.
The ultimate goal of the fund, therefore, is for students to gain work experience while they are studying at the University of Lincoln. That helps them prepare for the job market after graduation.
Hi, so I'm Eleanor Priest and I've graduated today with a first class honours in business and finance. I can't even put into words how amazing it was to sit in that cathedral, which is stunning. Like, the pictures don't even do it justice. It just feels so surreal, and it's amazing to celebrate with everybody that you've worked with for the past 4 years, and obviously all your family who have supported you throughout. So yeah, it's been amazing, and it's definitely one of my highlights from university.